All right. Cool. What's up, everyone? Fired up to have you guys here. Took me a second trying to stream to Facebook too, but that is not working right now. Lots of fun trying to figure all this stuff out. I'm just going to leave it up. If it works on Facebook, great. And if it doesn't, who cares? I'll deal with it later. Awesome. Really excited to have you guys here. Just jumping in. So today we're going to go over a lot of defense. Hey, there's my boy Salty. I swear I'm going to call you one day, Salty. I'm going to call you, man. I'm going to call you. I love you so much. I miss you. I see Chanichuk on here. What's up? Really excited to have you guys on. This is going to be a cool one because we're going to get into the details of defense and just like, you know, everything with offense and box lacrosse, there's so many gray areas with box defense. And so this should be a really fun one to break down and have a look at and, you know, really kind of start to learn the details of this a little bit more. So with that being said, okay, we have this. Sorry, I'm playing with something on the back end here. Drop a chat. Let me know where you're from right now. Let me know what area of the country you're in. Let me see if this is working here on my end and I'm getting this. I'm playing with all this stuff as I do this, and I have zero background in any of this. I'm back from yesterday. Thank you so much for coming back, man. I appreciate it. I love this. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start talking about this. Let me know where you're from. Columbus, Ohio. Drew, love that, man. 716. Stephen Kiefer, where's 716? Buffalo. Oh, my boys are from Buffalo. I love the Bo Cheese pizza. Is it Bocce's or Bo Cheese? Anyways, let's get jumping in on this. Let's talk defense. Let's look at approaches. Okay, there's my boy Parker. I see you, man. You're always, I love it, man. Always around. All right, here we go. So let's jump into this. All right, I got so this is from the, let me rewind. Oopsies. Okay, this is from the 2024 finals. Albany's in black. Buffalo is in white. Okay. And there, Rain Lacrosse Club. I sent you a DM earlier, man. Excited to hear from you guys. Bo Cheese. Yeah, there it is. Bo Cheese. I love it. That pizza, man. Unbelievable. Anyways. Okay. So this is the starting shift. Oh, I got to pull this up a little bit so I can run this. Okay, cool. All right. So first shift, this is right off of the draw. You can see the 30-second clock has not even ticked a second yet, right? So Albany just got the ball, and we're just going to play this out, and we're going to talk about it for a second, okay? You see Buffalo pressuring him, and he's actually forcing him down into the zone, taking away any adjacent passes. He throws a little nut, and it doesn't go. Why does he do that? Well, first off, he's an offensive player. That should be pretty clear to everybody because he's subbing off as he's going to defense. But what we don't talk about, okay, are the opportunities to press defenders or transition players, okay? This guy right here with the ball is a transition player, is a defensive player, and he does not want to continue down this way, right? That's where the offense happens. That's an intimidating spot. This guy's got a job. He's got great feet. He's good at playing defense. Let him do his job. He doesn't want to deal with playing down there, right? But you force him down, okay, it puts him in a tough spot. Now, you can imagine this is a NLL pro. This guy 91 here, I'm saying this guy doesn't want to handle the rock in the offensive end. If he's playing against us, he probably does want to handle the rock in the offensive end. He's probably an incredible player, right? So we think about the decision that he makes, and that's a great decision, but we think about a youth player, someone who's not as experienced, and we press him down, and then we have this defender hanging out right here that could potentially double him, right? We all know that we can make some big mistakes there, okay, when the pressure is on. Finding an opportunity to go and pressure, super important, right? And we're going to see that later on as well. So really pay attention to that. Now, we're going to play this out, and then we're going to talk about it, okay? So just watch the shift here. I want you to watch the shape that Buffalo makes, okay? So Buffalo's in white. If you're just jumping in, we're looking all at defense. Really kind of sloughed in, right? And I don't want to, look, they're slipping around picks, right? They're just kind of getting under them, getting around them. Here we go, kind of getting here, get over the top. And that's our first real approach, okay? Now let's look at this approach for a second. Let's see what happens. Okay, first off, this is Ian McKay here, right? The on-ball defender. This is Ian McKay, and he is an incredible player. If you guys are American, you should be modeling your game around this player right here. Okay, if you are American, watch this guy. Okay, I'm pretty sure he's Canadian. Okay, we can still like the Canadians. We love the Canadians. Okay, but watch him when he plays. He's a fantastic transition player. Now he comes out. He takes this little approach. He steps around. Okay, look, he's matching feet. He's got his top side foot just a little above the offensive player so he can take that top side. And this offensive player is doing everything he can to shake and bake, right? And so he takes him down. He takes him over the top. He gets over the top, but McKay does a really good job of getting this bump, right? He gets a good cross check, sends him up high. So now he's sweeping to the middle of the floor. He can never, it would be so hard, not on Ian McKay. He's not getting down here into this good scoring area. Even if you're on your weak side, this is still a pretty good shot for talented offensive players, right? So he's not getting there because of that initial bump, the contact that McKay made as he was getting picked. And now I want you to watch this. He takes this shot because it's late in the shot clock. Look at McKay's approach. This is what we need to highlight on, folks. This is it. This is what you came here for, okay? Look how he steps out. Now, you see how he gets out wide? You see that banana? Look at the angle that he's on, right? And he's doing this, okay? He's coming out at an angle like this, okay? And that's forcing the offensive player to get their stick out wider so they can shoot it around him. But they're already so far away from the net. That is such a big boy approach and such a small little detail that more of us could add into our game, right? If you're with me here, you're jumping in and you like this, let me know. This is the stuff that makes you a better defender though, right? Right there, okay? Being able to read and reapproach and make contact. Now, let's play this out, okay? So we get a nice little transition opportunity. The ball goes across. Now here comes that press again. Look at this defender. He's sending him down into the zone, okay? This is so important. Back this up for a second. Look at the route, okay? Let's look at the substitutions now, okay? Why is this possible? It's possible for this man to go and pressure, okay? He can pressure because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? All are below the lowest Buffalo offensive player. That makes a huge difference. When you got your guy standing behind you, this guy can be a little reckless with his footwork. He can go out and pressure and get a little closer with his feet than you typically would because they don't have enough. Buffalo doesn't have enough guys out here to really support the ball. So if he goes out and pressures, it's problems for Buffalo. And it's something that we want to take advantage of, right? Now, how do we pressure? Okay, in this situation, 15 is more of a defender. So we're going to funnel him down, right? We're going to funnel him into the zone. Okay, and we're going to see what happens. Now, this is once again my respect to 15. Okay, this is a high-level player, and I'd take him on my team any day. He almost makes that pass. If it's a youth player, if this is like a high school player, let's put the pressure on him to make this pass. I don't think they make that pass every time, and I think that's a turnover most of the time. Now, you see Buffalo ends up winning this transition out, okay? They end up sitting on it. Now, Albany, here comes the pressure again from 11. Okay, now that's against Tahoka Nanakot. And he's a big boy. I want you to look at the approach. Look at the difference with his feet. Okay, 11's coming at him. And typically we can't approach with our stick out, right? Kind of like you would in field. Okay, but 11 is doing this because he has the advantage of having more of his teammates down here. And he's trying to send this huge body into his other defenders where he can get more support on the ball, and he's trying to dictate pace. You could see this because he doesn't hang on this double. He just kind of lets it go once he moves the ball. Now they throw the ball up again. We get a big shot, ends up going out. Okay, we're going to hang on to it. Now watch, we're going to see a little bit of a shift in the defensive mentality here. Okay, now Albany's going to get out, and they're going to get after it a little bit more. Look, you can see the pressure. Now look, kind of a funny approach. We always hear we should take away the top side when they're at the shooter position, right? We should be funneling this man low. But this is Josh Byrne. That's not just anybody. And he's one of the best players in the game right now. Okay. If you funnel this guy low, okay, and this offensive player takes his man up here, okay, you're going one-on-one with probably one of the best one-on-one players in the league right now. And there's no way anybody is going to be able to slide and help. So when you go here and you see this approach, he's funneling him purely because of the type of player that Byrne is. And he's funneling him back, and he's trying to say, yeah, I'll let you go, but you got to go run into the middle here. And Byrne doesn't want to quite do that because look at the time in the shot clock, right? What is that, 27 seconds, I believe? Okay, so this is super important, right? Little details. So he forces the ball back. Now look at the defender. Look at the approach. The defender keeps coming out, getting him to backpedal, and he has to one-hop it over to his man. He misses it up. And this is a really, really talented offense player. I believe that's Chase Frazier, who's playing for Vegas this year now, right? And, you know, if he can make Frazier throw that little bad little pass there, okay, imagine what you're going to do to somebody else, right? And I apologize if that's not Frazier. I'm not sure if that is. I might have just made that up, okay? Let me know if you're still liking this. You're still in the chat here with me, okay? But you can see the pressure. Look at the pressure. Look at the difference, okay? And then they get that little field. Now, this is a tough play, right? This is a beautiful pick and roll by Kluche and Byrne here. He comes back around, sets his beautiful pick. Kluche gets to the middle. Now, this guy is in a tough spot here, right? He's in a really tough spot. Okay. He doesn't want to step upfield. We know most, in field lacrosse and box lacrosse, not too many good things are going to happen when you step directly up the floor. However, if he decides to backpedal and retreat and play this man, okay, Kluche is just going to continue to step in and probably get a hands-free shot from about right here, this line right here. And that's not a place that goalie wants to see that shot from. So he's gambling by kind of sticking his stick out, getting it in his face, and seeing if he maybe throws it away. He doesn't. They miss. They get out of that one, luckily, right? And then we get a little transition. You notice as we transition, now look, we don't have Buffalo pressing, right? You can see a clear difference in their play style here. Buffalo is just hanging back, letting them move the ball, get set up, and Buffalo wants to play that really packed in defense, where Albany was kind of trying to get out a little bit more, right? And really put some more pressure on the ball. As for me, when I think about brand new players to box, when I think about anyone who's played this game for a little while and maybe playing with, varying levels, the more pressure that you can send as a defender, the more success that you're going to have. It's especially when you're playing against inexperienced teams that don't know how to deal with this pressure, right? This is where you can really start to, play the game and do well and explode, right? But you got to focus on those approaches. Your feet are so important, right? You can see these little steps and this little footwork that he's taking. Look at the different angles. Okay. Check out this defender. Okay. Check him out. Check out the different approaches that he makes just during this one little shift. He goes out, okay, a little banana curl in, and then he goes back out again to take the lane, and then he gets a chop, and then he recovers back in, and he's still able to play great off-ball defense. Now, this is one area that I see guys, man, you got to put your hands on him as he cuts this middle here. You can't let him just run around without being touched, right? So, man, I was kind of fired up. I was flying through that one, but really, really important. The details make the difference here. And, the best players are the ones that can really do those repetitive tasks over and over and over again, right? So, and these are all just really easy ways to get better, is just kind of understanding spots where you can pressure and how you can, be a more effective defender, right? So, with that being said, if anybody's got any questions, now there's a little bit of a time delay on this, so sometimes I mess that up. Still getting used to it. But if you got anything for me, now would be a great time to kind of jump in and ask any questions. Otherwise, we're going to kind of jump off here, but really excited. We had a fair amount of people on at one point. I see a couple people. I think I might see CT. I think that's a name from the past. Oh, the ride. Here we go. Feels like the approach is taught more towards the boards than straight up. Yeah, what I think you mean by that is that top side approach, right? And you're really trying to like play it almost like this, where you're cutting the floor in half and making him kind of go underneath. And that's definitely the way that we want to play this for the most part. But when we start thinking about higher level players, we want to start to think about the angles that they're going to attack on and how we can start to play with that to take away their options, right? I think that's kind of what you were talking about there, right? We call, balls to the wall, essentially, when you're playing defense here. So I think that was a great question too. Excited to have you guys. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Never thought I'd be live streaming here, yet I am. So appreciate it. D Parker, is it better to pinch the boards or force him to the middle when the clock is short and he's wide out? Oh, Parker, that's going to really depend on the personnel and who you have, right? If you have a bad player with the ball, right, maybe you do want to force him to the middle and see if he can take a bad shot, right? But that's a little bit more advanced, and you kind of got to think about strategy and where you are in the game. The better one is just kind of cutting the floor in half and probably forcing him underneath. And just remember, right, this is the spot we call the half boards right here, okay? And when you get to this spot, if you're straddling this line, you're almost on a force like this. Let me see if I can change the color just so you guys can see this. It's a force like this, okay? You got to force them back up, because if they're lining up right here and they're trying to take you underneath, there's not a lot of ways that we can get good help to this spot on the floor, nor do we want to send help from this prime scoring area down here to defend the ball. The goalie's got to hold the post here, and we got to kind of hope that they can't make it to the far side. So just thinking about where you are on the floor when you're actually making that approach is super important. Yeah, balls to the wall. Yep, that's kind of how we play it, man. Kind of how I live my life too, But yeah, I hope that this was super informative. I hope we got a lot out of this. If you need anything from me, shoot me a DM. Let me know. I'm doing a ton of these. I got some Project Box stuff coming up. We got more breakdowns in the community. There's just tons of stuff going on right now. My world's it's crazy and it's awesome. And I'm doing all this lacrosse stuff. It's so much fun. So thank you guys all for joining me. I will see you guys later. Happy Friday. Let me know if you need anything.